Pope Francis, New World Order, Purifying Religions. With that being said, I'm going to open up with Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. With that being said, I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, RAWACHAA, QADASH, YAHAWAH, whom the world ignorantly called Lord and Jehovah, YAHAWASHI, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, sing honors to the elect, peace and blessings to the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3, and to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth, because not every Hebrew Israelite will look like John Shaft or Michael Jordan, alright? Because we've been scattered through the four corners of the earth. But with that being said, this article is pretty much this is actually a screenshot from a YouTube channel called Hugo Talks. I'm going to leave the link of that video in the description box. I really advise you to subscribe to him. But this article that he had on his video said, Pope, religions must be purified of extremism, self-righteousness. Now, before I proceed, let me pull out an etymology of, okay, pardon me, the etymology of extremism basically means a disposition of to go to extremes, or to be intense towards your doctrine. Now, let's think about Islam. They've had suicide bombers. Think about Christianity. Think about all the adultery. Think about all of the petty, thievery of the congregation. And then you think about what they call Judaism, right? Judaism. I mean, isn't there a law where they say something about sucking the blood off of off of the circumcised penis of a baby? Where's that in the Bible? So even though I spoke about the three main monotheistic religions, it all stems back to the Bible. Yes, even Islam, but that's another story. So when you're saying to purify religions, what is to be a Catholic? Look up the etymology of the word Catholic. Catholicism means universal. You have to look at a pope in his entirety. Look at the hat on top of the pope. That goes back to the fish of the Dogon tribe. What about the half crescent moon on the staff? That goes back to Islam. Because before people was worshiping the sun god, they were worshiping the moon god. Little do you know. The rosemary beads, they go back to what? I think it's Hinduism. Alright? Or being of a Confucian spirit. And then you got the robe. Right? So it's like there's so many different religions or walks of spirituality that consist of Catholicism. In Catholicism, you have to go back to the 10th century, which is really run by the black popes. Yeah, research the black popes, because Europe was ruled for 1,000 years by the Moors, who would be dark-skinned men today. But that's another story. So let's go into James chapter 1, verse 25 through 27. All right, because a religion is a worship or a ceremony. Well, we've heard what's been going on with the papacy, all right, about the child molestation. I gotta speak in code so I won't get flat for speaking the truth, you know. And then all other kind of wicked and evil endeavors about having. I've heard stories. I don't know if it's true, about them having the body of Harriet Tubman in the bottom of the Vatican, and well, I'm sorry, or Geronimo or whatever, even Skull and Bones, all of that BS, man. All right. The hoot nanny, but it's James 1 and 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So when you listen to the Hebrew Israelites, starting with the elders of Great Millstone is who I follow hands down. Great Millstone. There's other more notable mentions of, men of valor, of course. But Great Millstone. And we are extreme, but we're not violent. See, there's a difference. Like the Lord said, I'd rather you be hot or cold. Don't be lukewarm. There's no in-between in this. Even Jeremiah said he did not want to plead for the people anymore, but there was such a fire in his heart, in his soul, in his spirit, he just kept going. That's why the elders been doing it for decades. So yeah, we are extreme when it comes to being in defense of the gospel. But woe to them who's ever offended. We're not to force anyone to believe what we're saying. We're simply messengers. Yeah, so we take this wholeheartedly. But to purify what? That's self-righteousness in yourself to say to purify all religions. Really? Okay. Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. And you speaking about purifying religions, have you heard of Rodrigo Borgia, the 6th Pope of Rome, sir? Alright, did not he say, if I sit in the seat of God, that my son will be the Messiah? Who is Cesarea Borgia, whom all the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans have hanging up in their house, as whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus? Yeah, that man is actually a living man named, a man that lived named Cesarea Borgia, who was a part of the biggest crime syndicate during the, 1500s? The biggest crime family. Yes, Rodrigo Borgia himself, the Pope of Rome during that time. You're talking about purifying religions. Verse 27. Pure religion or pure worship and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Lo and behold, as the Lord said, friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High. And there's been plenty of articles of the Pope being for the alphabet community, right? Also, when you think about the papacy right now, you have to remember that they had those allegations. Hundreds, countless of allegations. And since those allegations of the molestation, have you noticed they started to legalize same-sex marriages and things like that? Right? But see, to be unspotted from the world is to not fall victim to this world by what? Being carnal. You have to be spiritual, right? But let's not linger too much on this side. Pope backs plan for world government, sees it as a means to establish peace. To establish peace, right? Well, listen to this. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3-4. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. No, there is no peace to the wicked, like it says in the book of Isaiah. There's no peace to you. You've taken peace out of the earth, like it says in the book of Revelation. And they shall not escape. Verse 4, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. We know the times that we're living in. We can see the signs. So you want to have this new world order, because that right there, the beginning of your new world order, is also the beginning of the end of your existence as a new world, as a world power. Because you're trying to be in conjoint with all the heathens. Well, when the Israelites went into slavery, i.e. the transatlantic slave trade, all you heathens got rich off of our slavery. So not only the so-called white man, the Edomites, the biblical Edomites will be involved. All heathen nations will be involved. Right? And there will be no peace. Look at the society we're living in right now. You're resetting the entire global system, because in your inward parts you think that your kingdom's going to go on forever, to generation to generation. Nope. The Lord got something in store for you. Alright? Listen to what the Pope also said. Pope Francis. Hell does not exist. What exists is the disappearance of sinful souls. I'm confused. You say you need to purify all religions, but then you're speaking about sin. Well, sin is in the Bible. And what is sin? Transgression of the law. So only Israel can sin. But then hold on, what about this right here? Hell does not exist. You speak of sin, so that means you're referring to something of the Bible, right? Well, let's see what the Bible says about hell, because hell is not a place, it's a condition. Proverbs 15:11. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? Hell is a condition. What did Jonah say when he was in the belly of the fish? He told the Lord to take him out of the belly of hell. It was a condition. Malcolm X said it. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Just to say black man, so-called black man, the tribe of Judah, but really all the tribes nonetheless. That's what Detroit Red said. But since you saying hell don't exist, the Lord got one for you. The Lord gonna do you even better. This is Psalms 9 and 16 through 17. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. That's why the Lord said the deceived and the deceiver are his. Hegaon Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell. You hear that? The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Did you not hear the Lord say he gonna send you to hell? He gonna turn you into hell. It's a condition. Oh yeah, see, but that goes back to the false prophet in the book of Revelation. This is the false prophet. Revelation, the 16th chapter. I want to go into that though, but it is. Now is the time to build a new world without inequality and justice, Pope says. Before I proceed, I remember I was working at Walmart, and there's a brother in GMS who vouched with me on this. There was this guy that worked in the meat department. He was a short, you could just look at him like a little devilish little Edomite. And he knew he was an Edomite because he knew we were Israelites. It was back in 2012 or something like that. I first started knowing about the truth in 2009, started preaching in 2013 with the brother Hanakala in GMS Tampa. But this dude told us that he used to work at the Vatican, and he said before he left, they put a chip in his hand. Now, if it's a lie, he told it. He told us that, and he showed us in his hand. I'm telling you, man, me and that brother, man, we've seen so many things. It's like, how in the hell can you not believe this to be, this not be the truth? But it brought back memories. But yeah, oh yeah. So we know you're a part of the New World Order. Neither rich nor small, rich or poor, free or bond, until you get the mark. Right hand forehead. Can't buy or sell. Wow. Everything going digital, right? Come on now. Follow the breadcrumbs that lead to the money. Nonetheless, this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12 through 13. As for your new world, I don't want to make this long. I want to hit the key points. You can expound on yourself on the multiple points that I hit, but it just goes to show you that everything that's happening in the world right now as we speak goes back to biblical prophecy. So now is the time to build new world without inequality and justice, Pope says. Right. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12 through 13. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved from a nuclear war, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Take this time to go look at the periodic timetable. The periodic timetable. It has all of the Earth's elements on it. You know what iron is, right? Right, an actual iron bar. But don't you also ingest iron? Right? Have you ever seen calcium in the sediments of a rock? You can't ingest that. You can get calcium from dairy foods and from other fruits and things like that, right? So guess what? Not only everything around you, even your ass. Yes, so when the elements shall melt with fervent heat, yes, even people. Let me read it one more time. Okay, they talk about a new world. Okay. 2 Peter 3 and 12 through 13. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. So the righteousness is going to come when the Lord returns, and he's going to build his new world that's going to be in all righteousness. And do you think he gonna beat y'all at the G20 summit? No. He coming to take the crowns of all you kings of the earth. Like I said, that shall be gnashing and welling of teeth, and he shall not meet thee as a man. So with that being said, I pray it's edifying and fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing. Stay humble, remain diligent. For my Allah, my ball, shalom.